G'day, welcome back to another episode of TOGL. Well, today we're taking Aunty Rob for a drive up into the Lakes Highland area, and yeah, quite impressive. We've just made our way out of Deloraine and now we are heading up into the mountains, and this is really spectacular. Now, it's quite a wet, dreary day, which just adds to the charm of it. So yeah, we're going to cruise up, look at some of the lakes, and I'll do a little bit more video along the way and show you. We've not been up this way before, so it'll be new for us as well. So this is the Great Lake. Oh, we're just stopped here at the Great Lake Hotel. We're going to have some lunch. Smells like they got the fire going in there too, which is fantastic.
Photo bomb, but I can't jump that high. Nathan. You too. Thanks, bye.
Must have decided to do one when I
He
finished.
said.
Well, that was a delicious lunch, and met up with a couple of people inside there, Nathan and Tori. Hey guys, they were just asking about my shirt, so thank you Helena for those shirts. And so yeah, I had a good chat with them about what's going on down here. So from here we are going to head slightly further south, chuck a left, head out to cross past Arthur's Lake, or Lake Arthur, and then we will head across through Patina, Cressy, Carrick, and then head back home. So we've still got a bit to see yet. Let's go. Well, the rest of that drive was fairly uneventful. Beautiful scenery. We didn't actually go within view of Lake Arthur like I thought we would. We were a couple of kilometres off that, so we actually didn't get to see that. Time was getting away. We had a longer lunch, so we decided to save that for next time. Anyway, back home now. It's been a couple of days. Aunty Rob's headed back home. It was wonderful having her here, and I know that she enjoyed the peace and quiet up here as well. Now to get on with a little bit of maintenance. Now, like anything, prevention's better than cure. Same goes with your machinery. So what I'll do is I regularly check over the tractor, but I thought I'd show you a little bit of that. Plus there's a couple of little minor repairs that I need to do as well. It's inevitable when working and I push all of my machinery really hard. There's a lot to be done up here that I need to get certain things fixed. They will break from time to time. So let's go through what I do with my tractor maintenance. Now, the first thing that I need to do is, you can see right here where there's a weld, you can see that rusty patch. It's actually this bar here. This bar is supposed to be up here attached onto that. It's one of the front struts. So I need to take these bolts out and get the plate off, and then I'll take the nuts off the other end of this bar, take this bar out. That's something that I will need to weld up, but I'll weld that up probably tomorrow or something. That won't be happening today. I'll get on with the other maintenance, but let's get this off now. So that's the plate. Always put the nuts and washers back together so that you don't lose them. And that's the bar that I'm going to need to weld that plate back onto the end to. Right, now that I've got that off, and I can put that to the side and forget about it now. So, the maintenance part. Now, all the way around the tractor, wherever there's these joins, there's what they call grease nipples. It's just like a little pimple. You get yourself something called a grease gun. It gets loaded up with a tube of grease in there, and then you can just push this over the end like that, and you pump grease in, and you pump the grease in until it squeezes out the sides, and then that just comes back off again. So I'll go around, I will do all of these little grease nipples. There's probably, I reckon, maybe 2 dozen on the whole tractor. We'll get all that greased up. Then I've got some other tasks I need to do. Now, in checking over all of this, I realised that there's a pin that goes right through here, and it's slid out a bit. It should be like that, fairly flush. Now the thing with this, if I can knock it out a bit further the other side and show you, is there is a groove right there, and there's one on the other side of the pin as well. Now just inside here there is an Allen key. What happens is this pin, when it's all the way in, that Allen key lines up with that groove, and so the Allen key, it works its way loose, and then the pin can slide in and out. So I just need to tighten the Allen key up to go back into that groove. It'll hold that pin in there. Now this piece actually does come up and slide right across there. That's why this can't just have a lock nut or something on the end of it. And I think to make life easier, I need to raise this platform up so that I can lower this further down and get better access in there. So I'll do that now. So now I've got access to this Allen key that's there. So that's that pin sorted out, and you can see how this goes right across and covers that pin up now. We've done that. We've done the grease nipples and greased all of the joints. I've also been around with a shifter and just checked all the nuts and tightened up any nuts that were loose, double checking all of those. Now there is one other thing that I specifically want to work on today, which isn't normally a part of the maintenance, but see how this is pretty loose? That one's not as bad, but that one is. And I know that when using this, there's a bit of play, and it's because there's quite a interesting pin structure under here for operating all the hydraulics. So they need to be tightened up every now and then, and it's probably been about a year since I've had to do that, so it's time to tighten them up again. I'll take this cover off, and then we'll have a look inside. And so now you can see here all the hydraulic lines coming through. These two here are for lifting the left and right legs to lift this up and down. These two control the bucket. So all we need to do is just lift this up, turn that inside out, and you can see in there how all the controls are. And so as each movement happens, it operates a different part of the backhoe. But it's these that we need to tighten up. See how that's all loose? That's that pin there. That should be, this pin should not be wiggling around like that. And again, so I don't lose anything, I'll put that screw back in there so that it does not get lost. I'll get these other two out now. Okay, now you can see how loose this one is. You can probably see that it is actually sitting higher, higher, because that needs to be screwed in. Now, you think, well, how does that get screwed in when that's on top? There is a nut at the bottom. So I've actually got to take this plate off as well. So we'll get that off now. Then I can tighten it from the bottom. And you always try not to drop a screw like that. Oh dear. And you always try not to drop a screw like that. I actually can't find it. It fell down, hit that, came down this way, and then I'm really not sure where it went. I'll have to have a good look for that. Stand by. Well, I just found that screw. You wouldn't believe where it's sitting. Sitting right in there. Okay. That one's out. But it appears that this one screws in down to the base, so I've actually got to remove it as well, and I can't turn it, which means I'm going to have to actually take this little lever off as well. Okay, so what I've discovered now that I've got that off is that this one here is actually, it's designed to turn. It's fully integrated into the block. It has no thread, it can't come out. So that one is actually not loose. The other ones were, but that one wasn't. So that's good news. So it just means that I need to just put this back together again. And when I do, I will be tightening up the other ones because they were a bit loose as well. So we'll get them in and tightened up, and all should be good. Now this plate simply slides over the top like that, and then this will go back through. Like so. So now with all these three put back in and all nice and tight, you can see they're the same level now across there. I can put this back on. Take these screws back out. Now it's a good idea to just do all of these just finger tight. Make sure that they're all going to go in. Once they're all in and half threaded down, then you can tighten them up. It will make life easier for you in the long run in a lot of ways. That is a lot better now, a lot better. Fold that back down over there and we are good. Now I just need to do the same to this one. Right, well that's that all put back together again, and there's a lot less play in these levers now. That will make things a whole lot easier to be digging from now on, which is great. So there's just a couple more things that I want to check, and the first one is the oil level, and then we will check the air filter. So let's go have a look at the oil level now. Okay, so we don't check the oil with a dipstick, so to speak, because this uses a special oil that's transmission fluid and hydraulic fluid. Sorry, there is oil as well. So there's the oil for the engine, but then the transmission and hydraulic fluids are all together. They're checked right here. There's that little button right there. That's a clear viewing window. There's two lines like that, and I can see that the fluid is up to that top line. So I know that we've still got plenty of the transmission hydraulic fluid. Now let's look underneath the bonnet. I'll just come around this way to make it a little bit easier. So there's the oil right there, standard dipstick, looking good. And the air filter. So this is the air filter right here. So what we do to get the air filter out is that we need to undo this bracket right here. So a very long thread on this. There we go. All right. Then we can unclip and take this cap off. You can see all this dust. Take the cover off. That needs a clean. And then we just take the air filter out after we take this off. That's what happens when I'm trying to work backwards. So we take that off. Now, because when you're always, you know, moving dirt or slashing or whatever, there's always kicking up a heap of dust. So there we are. And all this needs to be blown out with the air compressor. So I'll go and do that now, and then we'll put it back together again. Alright, so that's all been blown clear. We'll pop that back into there. That ring in place, pop that back on there, and then we pop this back on there like that. Now we can just screw this back down into place. And that's all the checks done. So just that little bit of maintenance every couple of months just helps to make sure that you get a nice long life out of your machinery. That's how I do my checks and service on, well, not a service so much, it's just a check on my tractor. Anyway, that's about all I've got time for this week, unfortunately. I want to get this put together and get it out for you guys this afternoon. So I will be back next Friday. Hope you've enjoyed this. Until then, stay safe, take care. I'll catch up with you next Friday. Have a great weekend. Cheers.